Well, New York State considers a statewide cell phone ban. California's governor just issuing an order to all districts there. Come up with policies on this. Governor Kathy Hochul planning to release her version of a statewide school cell phone policy toward the end of the year. But lots of discussion and listening happening on the topic. That includes a conference just held by the state's largest teachers union on the topic, along with social media and its impact on education and students' well-being. So joining us now, NYSET President Melinda Person. Melinda, it's always good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you invited not just the governor, but a wide range of groups to this conference, parents and teachers. What would you say everybody walked away with on Friday?
Well, we had superintendents, we had school principals, we had students in the room and parents. And I think the collective wisdom of the group was that we have really focused on the problem, and we've identified that social media and cell phones collectively are having a negative impact on our classrooms and our ability to impart social skills on our students. And we brainstormed a variety of approaches and ways that we could tackle this as a group of people who care about kids. And what came out of that, I think, was the sort of collective wisdom that it's up to all of us together to work together to find a solution, because our kids are really relying on us.
Everybody has kind of a different viewpoint on this. You obviously more knowledgeable on a teacher standpoint. How much of a problem do teachers see cell phones being in school right now?
The vast majority of our members have identified this as one of the top concerns facing our schools today. Not only because of the distraction of phones and earbuds and watches during class, but also because we see that in our hallways or in our lunchrooms that kids are spending their time staring down at a phone instead of interacting with each other and developing the normal social emotional skills and social skills that we would normally see kids developing at this age in school.
And Melinda, you also mentioned there, and I think it's a key point to bring up too, is the AirPods, the headphones, the smart watches and things like that. Where does that pose a problem, maybe slightly differently than the actual phone itself for teachers, again, from a teacher perspective?
I think all of these personal technology devices have the same concern, which is that they are a distraction. They pull kids' attention from the task at hand, which is they're in school to learn, or they're at lunch to eat and to be with their friends. And so to the extent that we can create a space that's distraction-free for these kids, the better off that they will be.
$1 million question, maybe way more than the $1 million question, and it's definitely not an easy one, and maybe not even answerable right now, but what might be a workable policy on cell phones? Are we talking like outright ban, like leave them in your locker at the beginning of the day, don't even bring them to school, or some kind of reduced use, or are we not even quite there yet as to what might be the best way to go about this?
Well, what we are supporting is what we're calling a distraction-free learning environment. And what that would mean is from bell to bell, so the beginning of the day till the end of the day, cell phones would be put away unless they're being used for an instructional purpose. So for a class, you're taking pictures or using your phone to record something, or if students are using them to, for health and safety issues like monitoring their blood insulin, or some teachers use cell phones with their students for translation services, right? There are a lot of valid reasons why there should be exceptions. And the restrictions, though, would generally create a learning environment and spaces where kids could be without distraction. And that would be for the whole day. And obviously, there would have to be ways for kids to reach their parents and to get in touch and to make arrangements for who's going to pick them up after school, all of those types of things. But there are places where they have successfully navigated over to this type of environment, and we're hopeful that more and more districts will do the same.
Melinda, I'm going to squeeze one more in for you. How worried are teachers that no matter what the policy, they'll be the ones that are left trying to enforce it?
Well, that is basically the current state of affairs in schools today. Our members say that they are largely the cell phone and earbud police, and that they lose 10 to 20% of their instructional time each day collecting devices and then giving them back and enforcing policies. And so that is one of the reasons it's so important to us that this be building wide and district wide, and now hopefully statewide guidance will help inform all of us so that we can do what's best for kids so they can have learning environments that they truly deserve.
Melinda, thank you so much for your time. Always appreciate having you on. Let's have this conversation again. Still a long way to go before we have anything set in stone, so I appreciate it. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.